Good morning. Welcome back to the Teacher's Wake Up Call. I am changing things up a bit. I filmed something yesterday and I didn't like it. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the content, but it was interrupted. It was shortened. I don't think I had specifically wanted it to end that way. Not that my content is ever planned ahead of time. I improv all of this. I don't plan what I'm going to talk about. Like this morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the Teacher's Wake Up Call. With your host, Madame la Prof. Hey, I'm in my classroom today. I'm in my classroom. Yeah, I haven't changed. My little fairy lights are there. Yeah. Actually, I'll talk a bit about March break because I know that I just finished March break. Let me just put this down and hopefully it's not going to like clank. Oh, no. The wire has to go like that. Oh, there we go. Oh, where's my coffee? Hold on, I need my coffee. There we go, coffee. Hi. Oh, I'm crooked. Am I less crooked now? I'm less. Yeah. So March break was good. I don't know how your March break was, but we got back to work yesterday and at least for me, it felt like I had been gone for weeks and weeks. And I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't know if I would have felt like that 15, 20 years ago. But it felt, when I got to school, it felt like I hadn't been here in a solid 3 weeks. It felt so weird. It felt bizarre. And I know if it's because it's a time distortion when you age and you become older and things feel askew, things feel distorted, but it definitely felt like that. I spent my March break correcting and planning, and you'll say, why are you doing that? Why aren't you out and about? Why aren't you? You know what? If people want to do that during their break, great, fine. I didn't want to do that. I did not want to go around and move around. I wanted to stay at home and I wanted to make sense of my space. I wanted to make sense of the work that is incoming. I wanted to make sense of my personal space. Like, for instance, I had a pile of things that I had left in my upstairs living room. We call it the mezzanine, because it's open concept, it's not a closed room. And we had left some stuff there. And when I mean stuff. There were plushies, like stuffed animals, stuffed novelty, okay? Novelty, like there was a stuffed Yoda, there was a stuffed Chewbacca, like, some novelty things that we had in the basement that we can no longer display in the basement because the spot where we had stashed them no longer exists. There was a box of miscellaneous things like chalk, a bunch of fairy lights, and I didn't know what to do with them. So I had told myself, these things are not pressing, they're not urgent, they are not preventing me from living in my house. I am going to deal with them during March break, and that's what I did. I bought some extra bins, and I put all of the plushies in a bin. I didn't want to get rid of them, because there's some I need more coffee. Some emotional attachment, sentimental value to these objects, and I wasn't ready to get rid of them. But I didn't want to have them just lying around. So in a bin, in the crawl space in our basement, and there we go. Out of mind, out of sight, is that a good thing? Out of mind, out of sight, out of mind? I don't know, but at least they're not in the way. So doing things like that to me is just as important as going away on a trip, as going away to a resort. Because to me, if my space, my personal space is chaotic, if the space that I deal with, you know how people say like, you shouldn't stress about the things you can't control? Well, I can control these things. And if I am stressing about these things, I am not going to be happy. I will not be able to relax. So I did that. And I did the same thing when I went on leave back in 2016. One of the first things I did when I was on leave was not think about work, obviously, but I tackled my walk-in closet, which was a disaster. And I remember there were so many things in my walk-in at that time. I couldn't even walk into my walk-in. There was like a small little path, and that was it. And I made sense of that, and I think that's just as important during your time off as going away on a trip. If people want to go on a trip, go. More power to you. If that makes sense to you, if that is meaningful to you. To me, what was meaningful to me during my March break was taking the time to make sense of my space and to organize my space and to organize my work too. I did corrections. Yes, I know. And I got admonished by my daughter who said, like, why did you give yourself that work? I planned my work that way, and I was very clever. Like, I didn't give my students so much work that I myself would have been overwhelmed. Half of the things that I had to correct were group assignments, so that made it easy. So instead of having 75 assignments to correct, I only had maybe 20, 25 of them to correct because many students decided to do it in teams. So, it's manageable. It's manageable for me. And the one assignment that I had to correct that was an individual assignment was an essay. And you're going to say, oh my God, you gave them an essay to write? Yes, but I was only evaluating the content. I wasn't content and structure. I was looking for des moyens, des organisateurs textuels, and I was evaluating the content. So, and you'd be surprised the moment you tell kids, like, I'm not evaluating the French, how freely they write. How, like, oh, I don't have to worry about spelling? Great. And then they just like spew out their ideas. So almost everyone got like 40 on 40 on the content because they got all their ideas out. They got all their ideas. I was like, I can't. It's so refreshing. So correcting that was a breeze. I was able to correct all of these essays. I don't call them essays. I call them reflections. These reflections in what, a day? Yeah. And usually if I'm correcting full essays, it takes me maybe 2-3 days because I need a mental break after a group, and yeah, so I can't correct them as quickly as I could. I mean, I could try, but no. So yeah, so that was my March break. And I know people find me crazy for doing schoolwork and work during my break. But once again, I started the day yesterday not stressing about what needed to get done because I had already planned and prepped it ahead of time. And to me, that means a lot. I went to bed on Sunday night and I wasn't concerned, I wasn't stressed, I wasn't worried about what I had to do the next morning. It was planned, it was done, it was taken care of. To me, that is a good way of spending my break, making sure that I don't have to stress. And I mean, the earlier I can do it too, the earlier I can plan that time, the earlier that I can plan and prep that what needs to be dealt with the first day back, it makes it even better. And it has happened although not often, it has happened where I left for vacation and I already had my week planned out. And I think that was last year because I know I was going to New York City. So I made sure that everything was planned, everything was ready, so I wouldn't have to stress on my way back. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice, and there was so little stress, so little stress. So I don't know how you spent your March break. I hope it was good. Are the teachers collectively counting down the days until the next break? Yes, but the students are too. On that awesome note, folks, have a fantastic, fantastic day.